Welcome everybody to the Rocket Cast. This is our inaugural episode number 1. So I'm really excited to have all of you listeners on here. Some of you may know me from Rocket Marketing Hub, or you may know me from my digital agencies, or you may have seen me at exhibitions or talking at various seminars around the UK and beyond. Now, this is our first episode and we're going to give you some action-packed insights into digital marketing and growing your business. So stick with us and we're going to get right into the content here because we want to just show you exactly what you can do to grow your business. So this episode is 17 SEO myths busted. Now, SEO has been evolving and it's been upgrading for a number of years, but in recent times, the rate of the change has gone through the roof. Google's really kept us digital marketers on our toes. So what this means to you guys is that aspects that many believed and thought that were true may no longer be the case. So before you panic or think that everything you know is wrong, stop, because there are many great aspects of SEO that are still true today as they ever were before. So I'm going to set the record straight for people here when they're talking about their search engine optimization. However, there are also a number of SEO myths alive and kicking, and it's best to be aware of those so you can avoid them. So we're going to go through and debunk many of the strongest SEO myths. I'm going to help you create an effective SEO strategy so you can help your business rank in the next few months. So all sounds good there. So the first thing is having Google Authorship increases your visibility on search engines and improves your click-through rate. Now, Google Authorship may have been a way to boost your visibility and was recognized, and you would have been recognized as an expert in your field, but those days are long gone. So in June of 2014, Google took the step of removing the Google Authorship photo from the search engine results. So your name was still present, but your face will no longer be available in the results. So you might remember, looking back a couple of years now, that when you did a Google search, certain results would have had the people's Google Plus profile image would have shown through there, and it would have shown the name of the person that basically wrote the article that the link was, what that search result was going to. So that was good, and Google decided to change that. So in August 2014, Google took the step of dismantling the Google Authorship program, and what that meant was that your byline information was removed and a number of marketers were left dismayed, because it did seem, in all fairness, it seemed like a good thing, really. It kind of gave a bit more information about the site before you had to click into it. So I quite liked it, but Google decided to remove that. So that is one of the first myths. So Google Authorship no longer plays any factor in your ranking. Second myth is that you need to submit your site to Google. So it's categorically not true, and there's no requirement for you to manually submit your site to Google to ensure that it appears in the search results or it's ranked. It's possible for a new site to connect with Google and submit their URL, but Google can be relied upon to find your site even if you haven't submitted it. So Google's so intelligent now, they've got all these crawlers and they've had them for years, but you don't really need to go there and submit it. Some people just like to do it. Sometimes we do it just for a little bit of speed at the beginning, but you don't have to submit your site to Google. It will get found at some point. You're going to have a link in a directory or a Facebook page or somewhere that Google's going to pick your site up and start indexing it. So bear in mind that taking the time and effort to submit your site to Google promises nothing, and there are no guarantees that Google will pay attention. You should use your time wisely to develop your site and rely on the crawlers to find and index your site, which they will do anyway in due course. So think about that one. The next thing is that links are more important than content. Now, this is a topic that's often brought up, with many people wondering if it's better to invest time and money in link building or generating content. So having links pointing to your site is very important and can develop your site's authority. But of the two things, having great quality content is always the best option that you should go for. If you think about it, after all, if you have a lot of links pointing to your site and you don't have any content of value or which will please your newfound guests, what good are those links? I mean, think about it. What's the point in putting loads of links to this site, ranking a page, and there's no valuable content on there? You're not going to really impress the user. So Google's not really going to give you any credibility there. So linking should not be considered as a numbers game, and you'd be better off developing a wide range of links from relevant sources, something which you can achieve if your content is strong enough. So investing in content provides you with material that can be used in a wide range of locations, and placing your content on a variety of locations will help you develop more links to your site. So think about that. Like, if you provide good quality content, even, people will automatically link to it. People will share it on the social networks, and that's the more natural way to get links. It's not about the quantity of links anymore. You need just quality links. So worry more about the content. After that, look at getting some high quality links that you can get people to point to that content. So the next thing is, you don't need a secure site for SEO. So you should have noticed that some sites have URLs that come up with HTTP and some have HTTPS. The first stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and the latter is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. So, and that offers the same ability to communicate over computer networks as the first option, but provides an additional element of security with an SSL or a TSL. So as of August 2014, Google made it clear that they would be using HTTPS as a signal in their algorithm, which means that if your site utilizes HTTP, you could experience a dip in rankings. It should be noted even that HTTPS is a lightweight signal with respect to algorithms, and there are other factors that Google take much more seriously when determining the ranks. So what we're saying here is that having HTTPS, a secure site, on all your pages is going to help your rankings a little bit, but it's not a be all and end all. Like, I rarely see HTTPS sites ranking. In my industry, we're in digital marketing, so not many of our competitors have even bothered to do that. So it's not a big concern on my list. A lot of our customers are local businesses. They really don't need to worry about it, plumbers and people like that. But if you've got a big e-commerce store, then absolutely it makes sense. If people are putting their credit card details into your site, obviously you'll have a secure page. The credit card provider like SagePay or WorldPay or PayPal will have provided that. But if all the other pages are showing that security certificate as well, then Google obviously is going to put those people, they should rightly so rank those people slightly higher, but it's a very, very small signal in the ranking algorithm here. So it's worth doing on certain big sites, but don't worry and lose too much sleep about it. So SEO myth number 5 is SEO is solely to do with rankings. And yes, I mean, that makes sense. If you're ranked highly on the search engines, you should find that your click-through rates rise. But it's also to be important that the ranking isn't everything. Research is indicating that users will still favor the top search returns when they move through the pages, the results. So we're talking about the results at the top of the page. But if you've got a lower result with a better click-through rate, then that's important as well. So there's also fact that with the search results providing users with rich text snippets, there's a chance to sway users to your site with additional content. So solely focusing on ranking is a bad approach. You want to look at trying to get the click-through rate in the search results improved, and that will obviously help. Because if you think about this, if there's 10 results for Plumber London, right? Obviously, position number 1 is the golden egg. Everyone wants to be there. But what if you're third and you've got a call to action in your meta description that says that you've got a 2-hour call out, guaranteed 2-hour call out? I'm certain that if I was looking for a Plumber London and it was an emergency, I'm going to call that person first. The click-through rate on number 3 for me is going to be the one that gets the traffic. So think about that when you're looking at this stuff. Number 6 is meta descriptions impact greatly on the search engines. Now, meta descriptions are useful because they can explain what a web page contains. However, if you thought that the Google algorithms paid much attention to what is contained in the meta description, you're in for a surprise. Way back in 2009, Google announced that meta descriptions and meta keywords had no bearing on the search engine results rankings. However, meta descriptions can still be very useful for SEO purposes because they provide you with an excellent chance to inform potential users of what you have to offer. So think about this. A relevant and enticing meta description may be the factor that makes the difference between someone clicking on your site or not. And that's related to the tip that we were talking about just before then. So if you said that you guaranteed a 2-hour call out, that you're third, and that's in your meta description, then obviously you're going to get more clicks to your site. It just makes sense. So think of it like a headline. I explained, obviously you've got the title tags is like your headline, but this is like a secondary headline, sub-headline if you want. And that's an opportunity to get people to click there. So on the meta descriptions, don't worry about stuffing it with keywords to try and rank. Think about what's going to encourage the person to click through to your site. The better your click-through rate, the more deserving you are to have a higher rank on Google, and Google will look at that. Number 7 is SEO work can be passed on to your IT team. Please don't do this. Or your web designer. I see this all the time. So over time, some people and businesses have become confused about how to utilize SEO. For loads of people, SEO is an area that needs technical experience. And as it's in an area that requires technical skills, some people think that it's a perfect fit for their IT professionals in-house. And the issue with that is that there are technical components to creating good quality SEO, but there's a lot more to it than that. And it may be beyond the skills and confidence levels of your IT support professionals to help. So by all means, get your IT professionals involved with the SEO project. Their skills will be vital at certain points when you need to update certain parts like sitemaps and add Google Analytics and stuff like that. But sometimes they can be detrimental to an SEO project because they think they know it all because they're techie and you're not. So they're going to push you to make decisions that aren't always right. So think about that. Make sure you get an SEO professional on this. Keyword optimization is the most important aspect of SEO. That's another SEO myth. So when we use search engines, we need to communicate what we're looking for, and the keywords are important in getting our thoughts across with the hope of getting a positive return. However, Google is moving away from just focusing on the keywords to actually try and understand the context of what people are looking for. So Google is placing a greater emphasis on the intent behind the search, as it just wants to make sure it provides the best quality answers straight away. So if you overuse keywords and provide very little context, you'll find that Google will move away from ranking your site highly because there's nothing that they can be confident about the content on there matches what the user's looking for. So Google did an update, a big update called Hummingbird that's related to this. And I see this all the time. So we rank for certain keywords around Frank Kern because I met him and we had a discussion and I made a blog post about that. Now, when I look in my webmaster tools, I'll see that I'll rank for all sorts of phrases related to Frank Kern, and I'm not even trying to rank for them. And some of them I don't even have the words or the keywords on the page at all, but Google's trying to to match that. And that's why we're not just looking at keywords all the time. It's really, really important to look at the bigger picture here. Similar to that, keywords don't have to be exact match anymore. So a big myth is that keywords need to be exact match. So due to so many people believing that keyword content is so vital to be ranked, there's always like a slavish structure to use this keyword phrase exactly time and time again. And there should be consideration of the context and thought given to the user with respect to keyword usage. I mean, your main goal here is to focus on creating strong headlines that sets up what the page is about, as opposed to shoehorning the key phrases in awkwardly. You see that time and time and time again. So if it's awkward use of the keyword phrase, it just stands out like a sore thumb. So don't do that. Google can understand the sort of key phrases that you should be ranking for, and you will show for that stuff eventually if you do this. So don't always just have a major focus on the keywords. So the most important on-page elements are H1 tags, and that's a myth as well. So with the structure of your page acting as an outline, users' eyes will automatically be drawn to the headline, which is the H1 tag. So it's important that you basically use the H1 tags, but it's not the most important thing anymore. Like, the rest of the content is key as well here, and Google isn't just looking at certain keywords on your page, it's looking at the whole user experience and everything now. So you don't need to just shoehorn these keywords into the H1 tags anymore like you used to. Another myth is that your homepage needs to be filled with content. Now, we're starting to see websites being really successful that move away from this. Google loves video, and you can have a really awesome homepage with just a video and a couple of bits of information on there. People used to be stuffing, I don't know, pages and pages and pages of content all into their homepage because they felt it was the most important page, and everyone saw that, and that makes sense. I mean, that does make sense, but you don't need to do that anymore. I am starting to see loads of sites that have very thin on content on their homepage that are ranking really, really, really well. So don't worry about it too much. Don't over worry about your homepage. Number 12 is it's better to have as many pages as possible. Now, Matt Cutts, he's the Google web spam guy. He's off at the moment on a lovely sabbatical, but Matt made it really clear to webmasters that you don't need as many pages, because what was happening is you were getting people that were making thousands, literally thousands of pages, because they wanted to rank for as many keywords as they can. Now, your site does not get... What you got to look at is, if you've got a site and you've got 10 really bloody good pages and the quality is really good and people are engaging with them and they're getting the right sort of stuff from those pages, it makes sense, totally makes sense for Google to rank those pages. If you think people are trying to compete against that site that's got 10 pages and they've got a 10,000 page site, that site isn't necessarily going to rank higher on Google, because the chances are, when they've got that many pages, that the quality of those pages is going to be really poor. It's much easier to make 10 good pages than 10,000 mediocre pages. So that doesn't make a difference. So having the most pages doesn't make a difference at all. So think about that. There's no need to carry out local SEO. That's not right. The benefits of the internet have led to basically a global marketplace, and businesses are able to sell their wares all around the world nowadays. And this led to many people to believe that local SEO isn't important, but it's not the case. It's important to carry out local SEO work, get listed in local directories and local citations around your business area. You should be doing some local SEO, because you will get local people that are looking for business from you, and it just helps. It really does help if you've got that local SEO nailed. So using another myth number 14 is using other domains I own and other microsites to link back to your own site, boost your SEO. And that did work. That really used to work. And Google clamped down on that. I mean, what people were doing was just buying loads and loads of different websites. Say they wanted to rank for search engine optimization, they'd make loads of SEO blogs, their own SEO blogs, and they'd just be like terrible quality. And no one benefited from those really. At times they might have ranked slightly higher on Google, but having all these sites, Google can pick up on all this stuff. They can see who owns the domain name. They can see that they're in the same hosting company. If you're going to do stuff like this, it doesn't really benefit you anymore. And if you do stuff like that, you need to be having this stuff totally separate. You need the domain names in different people's names with different cards on different servers in different parts of the country if you can. That would be ideal. So and you need to build those sites up over a lot of time and link out to other people, not just yours and stuff like that. So buying lots of domain names and building lots of microsites isn't really going to help your SEO anymore. Number 15 is it doesn't matter if I have bad sites linking to me. Now we know for sure that is not the case anymore. So Google has an update called Penguin, which is the most brutal update that they have. If you have bad links linking to your site, then the Google Penguin update will hit your site really, really hard. And the Google Penguin update can get you banned in Google and in the search engines, and that really will crush your business. So you really, really, really don't want that kind of stuff happening to you guys. So if you have some bad links linking to your site, you need to use what's called the Google disavow tool, and you need to own up and say to Google, look, we don't want these sites linking to us, please ignore them. First instance, actually, you should try and remove them. If you can't, then use the Google disavow tool after that. So bad links are bad news. If you've got some, get rid of them now. That's the main thing that I would say, one of the key things here. Number 16 is SEO is for the search engines and not the users. And yes, I mean, SEO does help the search engines, and it's a fundamental process that you're doing to get found in the search engines. But with the more recent Google updates, Google wants to give people such like a good experience. So way back 3 or 4 years ago now, we would have like spammed the hell out of the title tags and the meta description and stuff like that, and that was for the search engines. But when you went to a Google search results page, they just looked naff. It just looked totally naff, and it made sense for Google to penalize people with the Panda update for that, because the content was poor quality. So yeah, absolutely, like SEO is to help the search engines work out what you're about, but it's all about usability now. It's really, really important to drive that home. You need to be looking at the usability on the page. Google will look at lots of different things: how people engage with a page, the time they're on there, do they watch video, all these different things. So it's massively about the user now. It's not just about the search engines. If you forget the search engines and just focus on the user, the chances are you've got a great opportunity to rank page one anyway. And last but not least, so SEO is not linked with inbound marketing. That's the last myth that we've got. So you may find it easier to consider your departments or tasks as separate issues, but there's many aspects of creating like a reliable and effective website that link and overlap. So SEO and inbound marketing are strongly linked together, and you should consider them to be like something that works hand in hand. So inbound marketing is all about taking strangers and turning them into customers by informing them of what you do and why they should use your business. So inbound marketing can really, really help your ranks on Google, and you should be focusing on like putting those together. So in conclusion on this, I'd like to say really that you'll see like so many different SEO myths, and you've got to be careful that you don't start believing those. So knowing these myths is going to give you a better understanding of how you should be working with respect to your SEO and how you can create more effective and efficient SEO strategy. So we're going to keep sharing like ideas on search engine optimization and Facebook advertising and stuff like that throughout these podcasts over the next few months. So do keep listening to the show. I hope you found that useful, and we'd love to hear your feedback. If you found the show great, please do take the time to review us on iTunes. That would really, really benefit. I just wanted to share with you just quickly an event that I've got that's coming up in London. So it's called the Traffic and Lead Gen Bootcamp, and it's on February the 27th and the 28th, 2016 in London Heathrow. You can find information about it on trafficandleadsbootcamp.co.uk, and we've got some amazing speakers there. So we've got Nick James, who's doing talks on joint ventures. We've got Desmond O'Connor that's going to be teaching people about how to use webinars to get leads. We've got Tom Smith, who's one of the UK's leading Facebook advertising guys, that's going to be talking about how to use Facebook advertising to grow the business. We're also we've also got Simon Coulson's, and Simon Coulson's going to show you how he built up his £16 million business empire in only a matter of years, leaving BT in the call center to grow that business very, very quickly. He's got some awesome strategies that he's going to share with us as well. We've got Vishal, who's going to be teaching people how to become an author. Becoming an author is an awesome strategy to get leads into your business as well. And we've got Tom Breeze, who is going to share with us the secrets to YouTube advertising. And what Tom doesn't know about YouTube advertising isn't worth knowing. So it's an awesome event. Tickets are absolutely a bargain. So you can find out the latest prices. We've had some early bird deals on that at trafficandleadsbootcamp.co.uk. That's February the 27th and 28th, 2016 in London Heathrow. So I hope you guys don't miss out on that. And thanks a lot for listening to this podcast. It's our inaugural podcast. We're going to have lots of exciting guests over the next few weeks and months. So please take some time to subscribe to the podcast. I really, really look forward to sharing with you some more information. So thanks a lot, guys. It's been great having the time to spend with you, and we'll speak soon. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Bye.